What's up, guys? My name's kyledipeppe. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the crypto bear market. And today we're going to be talking about how to invest in NFTs in a bear market. Don't. Nah, I'm just kidding. Speaking of the bear market, there's always great opportunities in bear markets because things get mispriced. People panic sell, they panic at the bottom. And with NFTs especially, there's even less liquidity. What I mean by that is if you want to sell a stock or even like Sol or Bitcoin or Ethereum, right? You can just go to like Coinbase and dump to the seller, right? There's an immediate bid and ask price you can sell to. You don't have to wait for somebody to come around and say, oh, I want to buy it at this price, because there's already a big market there and liquidity. With NFTs, you really have to list on an exchange, and then somebody can potentially buy it from you, or they can place an even lower bid on your NFT and you can choose to sell to them or not. You can't just immediately go and sell to someone. There aren't any exchanges with that capability right now. And so if you're looking to buy NFTs or already have NFTs, keep that in mind, because as we continue to fall, you either have to keep adjusting your price lower and lower and lower, or hope that somebody comes along and buys your NFT, which if it's not listed at floor, you're probably not going to sell. So that's sort of the first thing to keep in mind. Now, obviously, none of this is financial advice. You should always do your own research. And also, if you want to support me and my channel, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, link to my Patreon down below. But back to NFTs. So let's just sort of jump into the current state of the NFT market. If you go to Magic Eden and just go to like the homepage, you can see the first thing is this Darley Go horse thing. Probably a recent mint, but basically you can race, breed, and win. Cool. Now, the second one, Invokers, Solana Play to Earn. What can you do here? Well, it looks like you can earn INV every day. Cool. So some new native token for Invokers. Now, what's the next one? Chill Chat. What can you do? Oh, Create to Earn. I'm assuming there's probably some other native token here. What's the next one? Foxtopia, an RPG game where you can breed, stake, and earn yet another native token. So I think you get the point. The point is, there are a ton of new projects coming out every day that have some new native token that who knows what the actual value is, right? So you could earn 4 million of these tokens a day. It's irrelevant if you don't know the actual price. And even if you do know the price, that price can go to zero. So keep that in mind. Now, on top of that, you have a ton of like offshoot projects, which we've had from the beginning, which is basically like a derivative project, right? Where you had Bored Ape Yacht Club on Ethereum. You had Degen Ape Academy. You had Solana Monkey Business. And a lot of these projects now have all of these like offshoots, like Baby Monkey Business, Monkette Business. You have Bored Ape Solana Club. Like it's literally like, well, that's literally like a copy paste of the Bored Ape Yacht Club, like literally the same art as that. But the point I'm making is that there's a ton of projects and a ton of garbage out there as well. So just be careful. So back to the kind of points of investing in NFTs in this bear market. There's going to be less liquidity. So like I mentioned, you have to list it and hope that somebody buys from you or gives you some sort of offer that you're willing to sell at. So due to that, if you're going to buy, it may not be as easy to sell or get out of that position should the market continue to fall. Should you need access to those funds, whatever it is, it's going to be much harder to get in and out of that position than it would be to say buy and sell Sol, where I could literally go to a marketplace, buy right now and sell right now if I wanted to do both, knowing that I could 100% get in and out of my position at whatever the current market price is for the most part. Now, with that being said, there is some great opportunity. If you are actually bullish on the space, if you're very hopeful on the space, if you want to bet on certain developers or teams or communities, there are a lot of good deals to be had because of this illiquidity and the fact that people sort of have to list on these exchanges or on these, marketplaces like Magic Eden, Digitalize, Solana, and a lot of times they forget about it. So what happens is when Sol drops by over 50%, these floors don't increase. So in Sol terms, it's the same, but in US dollar terms, it's now half price. So if you look at something like the Solana Monkey Business Market, you can see that the floor price is 136 Sol. So it's obviously come down from its all-time highs, but the interesting thing is Sol is now trading under $100. Whereas when these things were trading at 136, you saw Sol trading at 175, $200 even. So it's half price from those prices, but the Sol floor is still 136. So that means that these in US dollar terms are now super cheap. If you think that Solana monkey business are going to remain sort of like the blue chip NFTs on Solana and you want to make a bet on them, right now, if you price out 136 times $100, that's $13,600. Well, all this means is these are only $13,000. And if you look at something like a Bored Ape Yacht Club or Mutant Ape Yacht Club or whatever it is, some of those NFTs have traded in the hundreds of thousands of dollars as the floor price. These are a tenth of that. So if you think that Solana as an ecosystem, as a community, and these are going to be one of the blue chips, there's some great sort of mismatches in the sense that like the US dollar price of Sol came down. So instead of the floor price in Sol going up respectively, it stayed low, and you can get some great deals on these blue chip NFTs, assuming you have the funds and can sort of risk that money, because it could just go to zero. Again, not financial advice. So less liquid markets, but that less liquid market can lead to some great opportunities for blue chip stocks. Now, back to my point earlier about how there's all these basically play to earn NFT games launching, derivative projects launching. It sort of reminds me of like the ICO bubble from 2017. That was when I first sort of got into crypto. It was like summer of 2017. And then all of these ICOs happened as Bitcoin and Ethereum price started running up into when Bitcoin first hit like 3,000, 7,000, 10,000, right? All of these other coins came out just trying to solve some other problem or doing the same thing just to raise money because you can, right? There's so much VC capital, hedge fund capital, or just retail capital out there. And most of those coins went to zero by now. So if you think about these NFT projects, there's a ton of garbage just coming out. They're derivative projects. They're play to earn models, but with no game yet. They're saying we're going to build a game, but we haven't built it. So unless you really believe in the dev team and really believe that this game is going to be something special and different, like what's the real investment thesis there? So keep that in mind when you're looking at new projects. It might be easier to stick with sort of blue chip projects or dev teams that you know well, things that you can follow, maybe even dev teams that have doxed themselves. So basically you publicly know who they are. And that way you have a better grasp of sort of what you're investing in or who you're investing in, rather than just buying some brand new mint that is a team you've never heard of, saying they're going to build this crazy new game that's going to be awesome, and then they just rug you and run off with your soul. So it's kind of ironic that it's Sol. Anyways, keep that in mind when you're investing in these things. But yeah, things to think about. Now, back to the point of Solana monkey business sort of staying at like 136 Sol while the price in US dollar terms has been cut in half and the Sol floor hasn't gone up. I have this other thing that I like to watch. I built this Roi Calculator, which is available to my patrons right now, as well as myself, which I actually use. Obviously, anybody can do these calculations. It's just a simple way to sort of see and compare everything side by side. So this is basically pooling in a few projects. It's pulling in the floor price from Magic Eden for most of these, as well as the token price if they receive some sort of token, and the amount per day of that token. And it tells you the daily percent ROI, days for ROI based on what you paid for the floor price. And I think that this is very interesting because what I realized is that Bitmon, for example, this is one I've been following recently simply because I like the developer there, and I'm pretty bullish on the team itself, so I decided to buy a few of these. But the floor as of today is 1.15 Sol. As of like yesterday or the day before, it was 0.75 Sol. So you can see that this right now is actually still cheaper than the mint price of 0.85 Sol based on where Solana was trading then. I hope you followed that and that made sense. But the idea is that basically the floor price has to adjust higher if you want to have the same USD price in the floor of these things. So if you're looking to invest or flip NFTs during this bear market, you can find these mismatched prices, back to the point of the illiquid markets, because of this illiquidity of people not delisting and relisting at higher sold floors, of people panic selling and not being able to get out. So because of all of this, you can find some great opportunities to flip some NFTs to basically stack more and more SOL. So if you don't really care too much about the community or dev team, obviously it helps do some research there because you can find better projects that might have a floor that goes up, but you can find projects that are cheap potentially, scrape or sweep the floor, and then flip for higher as people adjust based on the fact that the SOL price has come down in USD terms. So if you're just trying to flip, there's possibly some great opportunities out there because blue chip NFTs like Solana Monkey Business, these floors haven't really adjusted higher even though USD has gotten cheaper. So now instead of spending $20,000 to buy one of these monkeys for 135 SOL, you can spend $13,000 to buy one of these monkeys for 135 SOL. So based on all these things, there's some interesting opportunities out there, but things to be mindful of, such as illiquidity, just a ton of NFTs flooding the market. Most of them are going to be garbage. So if you're not flipping them, be careful what you hold on to, because in 1 to 6 months, a year, they might be worthless and you might not even be able to get out of them for anything. Yeah, I guess this is just another kind of mind dump from me on how I'm approaching this market and things that I'm keeping in mind when I go to buy NFTs in this bear market. But if you guys enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you have any questions down below or what other videos you guys want to see. It's definitely very interesting times with things selling off over 50%. So with that in mind, again, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching.